In this video, we're going to be replacing the emergency brake shoes, drum shoes, on a 2006 Jeep Liberty. So obviously we're going to start by taking the wheels off. Okay, so now we need to take the caliper off because the caliper is kind of holding this rotor on. So to do that, we have this spring thing that just comes off like that. And then we have two 13 millimeters on the back holding it on. Alright, so then this should come off. You might need to get a pry bar in there to pull it off. Okay, we'll put this back here. Alright, so let's pull the drum off. Now, this one came off easy. That's because if you look here, and I wish I could show them. Are the friction materials around in here? If you look here, you see that there's no friction material, and that's because when I took this drum off before to see what was going on, it just fell off. Both of them just fell off. So, which is weird. And the other side was the same way. They were both hanging on by a thread. Oh, here we go. Here's one. So, yeah, this is where it's supposed to be, and it just fell off. So, that's why we're replacing these today. But if you can't get your drum off, then what you have to do is, if you look in the back here, you'll find there's a little rubber plug, and you need to remove that plug. And on the other side of the hole, there's a little spur gear thing that you have to turn with a screwdriver, and that will loosen. As you turn it, it will loosen, pull these in and loosen, and then you can pull the drum off. It's kind of annoying. So now that the drum's off, we need to remove the springs and everything. So if you look up here, there is a spring that goes across, and we're gonna just grab one side and pull out. They make special tools to do all this, but I don't use them. I'm guessing you don't have them, so I'm just gonna use pliers. It usually works pretty good. There we go. Come on. Alright, there's that. And then on the bottom, there's another spring that connects both of these together here. And this one's easier to get off. Of course I say that, and then it's hard. There we go. Okay. Ooh, that bent a little bit. We can bend that back. Alright, so next we have the shoes. Let's push them out a little bit. And as I pushed them out, this adjuster fell out because it's held in there by just these little two forks on each side. So let's put that to the side. And also, this is the adjuster I was talking about. When you look in the window on the back, it's this thing that you're spinning, and that moves this in and out, which moves the brake shoes in and out. So we'll pull the shoe out, and this is kind of like an arrowhead kind of thing. We need to push it in first, and then push down like that. And it's kind of hard because the back it's moving down. So just finagle with this until you get it. Also, watch the edges of the backing plate, because I cut myself. It gets pretty sharp. screwdriver. Oh! Okay, didn't break the skin. Let's go right back to doing it. Alright, there we go. See how it went up in that groove? There it is. Take that out, and now the shoe can just come out like that. We got the same thing on the other side. We're going to push the shoe out so we can get to this. And then I'm just going to wiggle it, push down, and try to wiggle up on that little head there. Push it into that groove. And this is almost. There it is. And then there goes the shoe. Alright, so the way the shoes go on is this angled part goes on the top. This side's a square you can see. So that's an angle. I'm going to put it back in. And actually we can they're reversible, so we can do this side first. And we're going to put this guy through the hole in the shoe, and then the top goes in this little spot here. Try not to touch the friction material with your fingers. I know I'm doing it, but just try to keep that to a minimum. Whoops. Alright, so we're going to put this clip back on to hold it steady, because it's kind of flopping everywhere right now. Almost. There we go. Okay. And then at the top, we just kind of have to put it where it lives. It is in this little groove here. Now, they don't go all the way down like that. You want them to come up a little bit. You want them to stick up a little bit, and it'll all kind of get pushed into alignment when we put the springs on. Alright, we're on the other side, and it's the same deal. Gonna put this little arrowhead thing, whoops, through the hole. Oops, hold on. And then we'll get the screwdriver. There. Make sure it's in there. There. And then at the top, it's just, things kind of moved around a little bit, so hold on, let's kind of... There. Okay, man. Okay, so here we have the top spring. Let's put it in one side at a time. Let's get this under here. Put one side in, and then just gotta hold on to this for dear life. It works if you can get some locking pliers on this, like a small set. That really makes it easy. Okay, careful. It's not quite in there. There it is. Alright, here we go. Let's just make sure these are up a little bit. Okay. Alright, so around the bottom part now, we have this adjuster, and then we also, where did I put it? Where did I? Oh, it's in my hand. And we also have the spring. And now the spring fits in these little grooves like that. So what we need to do is we need to put this in first, and we're going to run this adjuster pretty far down. So that's all the way down pretty much, and it goes in these little tabs here. Now it isn't really quite long enough, but that's okay. The spring is going to push things together, and then it should be alright. Let me just make sure that's the right way. Actually, it might go, I think it goes this way. Yeah, I think it goes this way. Well, actually, okay, let's do that. So, pulled it out like that. I'm gonna put the spring on. Where's the pliers? So let's do it like this. And then push that in. Okay, so now the spring is kind of pulling the shoes together. And there we go. So now the adjuster, as we turn this, it'll push these shoes out onto the drum. Alright, so now we need to put the drum rotor on, and if it's loose enough, it should go on. So that it went on because it's because we loosened the adjuster all the way, pretty much. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in the back, and we're gonna go through that window I talked about before, and we're gonna adjust the shoes out so that they are grabbing the wheel such that we can't turn it, and then we're gonna back it off a little bit until it turns freely. All right, here we are. We're on the back side, and here's this little rubber plug I mentioned before. We're gonna pry that out, or just rip it out. Don't forget to put that back. And just it looks like I put the adjuster in backwards. Hold on one second. So, okay, so now it's in the correct direction, and there's a little wheel in here, and you could stick your screwdriver in and either pry up or pry down, which will tighten or loosen. I always forget. So right now we want to tighten. So we want, I believe we want to push down, and I always get it wrong the first time. So yeah, so Travis is going to turn the wheel. So the way this is going to work is I'm tightening it and tightening it, and he will periodically turn and see if he can still turn it. Alright, try it. Yep. Okay, so we've gotten it to the point where it won't spin anymore. So now we're going to just back it off until it does spin. Just want it, and not just spin, but you want it to spin so it's not binding up. Just do one or two turns at a time. See, that's kind of binding up. Alright, so we need to put the caliper on now. If we're lucky, we'll be able to get it on without retracting the caliper. And we are lucky, which is good. So, well, there we go. And next we have the little spring goes around it. Okay, and then we have the two bolts, which we are going to lube with the brake lube. Where is that? You don't need that much brake lube. We're going to put it back here. Okay, let's just get it. There it is. And then this one. Alright, let's put this tire Okay, so we're going to show that it works. So I'm going to spin it, and then I'm just going to pull the brake. Pull it up. There it is. Okay, let's test it on the road.